Hello YouTube. I want this video to be about my fire making kit. I'm pretty interested in firecraft in general. I think fire obviously is one of those essential, pillars of survival that it's pretty essential to master it, or at least become proficient in it somewhat. And I mean, you can make fire in all sorts of different ways. Sort of at the bottom of the scale in terms of simplicity is, with a lighter and some gasoline and, some pre-cut wood from a store in your backyard. I mean, that's pretty much as easy as it gets, or maybe in a fireplace or something like that. And then at the top of the complexity level would be something like friction fire, or some of those things that you see Cody Lundin do in Dual Survival. I definitely think Cody is a master of primitive fire making methods. I've seen some other people who are quite good at it as well, like Les Stroud from Survivor Man. He's just outstanding also. And it really baffles the mind. Those guys make it look easy, but it is not easy, fire making for sure. So I mean, fire, I believe there's like three main elements that are important. You need something to burn, you need a combustion source, and you need oxygen for the fire to burn. So I think a lot of people, when they're first starting out with fires, they get something wrong. Usually the ignition source is pretty, self-explanatory, a lighter, matches, whatever. But I think that usually the problem is just lack of preparation. You need to have like tinder, kindling, and then your fuel, your primary fuel, whatever that happens to be. And you just need, it's like when you're cooking a meal or something, it's like you need to get all the ingredients ready and have everything good to go, and then you start cooking and you get a beautiful meal out of it. But if you're disorganized, if you don't have your things ready, it's going to be a mess, right? So anyways, let's get into the kit, and I'll show you what I've got to help me get fires started. So I keep everything in this nice little pouch here. It's not waterproof, but well, maybe that is a problem, but it's not a waterproof pouch. It's just made of a fabric. I actually picked this up in Mexico from these guys called the Tianguis. It's just public markets, and I don't know if these are handmade or if they're made by machines, probably combination or something, but it's a nice little bag. I like the color green. So anyways, inside we've got different ignition sources. So this, let's talk about this one first. This is a waterproof match container wrapped in duct tape. So there's probably a couple feet of duct tape wrapped around that. It's this nice red duct tape, which I think is really useful actually, because you could use it to like mark trails or something. You could tape some of it around a branch, maybe a couple inches at a time, and then find your way back somewhere. And I mean, duct tape has just a million uses really in general. But anyway, so here's the waterproof container. It's made by Kogan's, I believe. And inside I've got some strike anywhere matches. So you can strike these on like a rock or something along those lines, or a zipper perhaps, or whatever. So I don't know if they're waterproof actually. That's a good question, but they're in a waterproof container, so I mean that's a pretty good start. So yeah, that's the matches. Inside here we have fire steel, Swedish fire steel, Light My Fire I think it's called. And it's pretty cool. If you've never seen fire steel, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it on camera here, but it's pretty cool. It's fun just to play with actually. So anyways, these sparks, you're shaving metal off the rod here with this striker or whatever it's called, and the sparks land on some tinder that's easily ignitable, and then you've got a flame. So to use this effectively, you really do need to have good tinder, and I'm not an expert at all. In fact, I'm probably pretty crappy at gathering natural tinder. It's really hard to know like what's dry actually. You'll walk around and you'll find sticks and things like that, maybe like laying on the ground, and I always go by like the snap test. Like if you can snap it and it snaps easily, that means it's pretty dry. If you try to snap something and it's bending, that means it probably has some moisture in it. Either it's just recently came off the tree or whatever. But yeah. So anyways, the type of things, the type of tinders you would need to use this with would be something like a tree bark or something that's been like ground up very fine and it's like very dry, or you need to use it with some sort of ready-made tinder that you bring with you into the backcountry. So the last ignition source that I have here is a lighter, just a pretty standard. It's not a Bic, but it's something like that. I got this in Mexico as well. And it's kind of cool actually because it has a adjustable flame, so you can fire it up to flamethrower mode. So anyways, that is 3 ignition sources. I think it's pretty important to have some redundancy in like whatever your system is. So I mean, my preferred method would be the lighter, I think, but everybody knows that lighters can fail, right? Even though it shoots out the flame there, if you dunk it in water or perhaps if it rains or something, it could fail. So after that, I guess matches are the next best thing, because you get a real flame out of it to work with, and it might last you 10 seconds a match, but you've got 20 matches in there, so that's 2 minutes or whatever, 3 minutes of flame in total, so you should be able to get a fire going with that. And then my last favorite method, although I do think it's fun and it's important, is this fire steel, because it doesn't generate a flame, it generates sparks which then have to be turned into flame through fire trickery. So anyways, let's talk about my tinder now. So there's lots of different tinders out there, like Fatwood, and I forget what that stuff is that Nud & Fancy uses, some military, these like little pucks that you just light it on fire and the thing burns for like 10 minutes. So it's like you could be a complete idiot basically and have this thing that burns for 10 minutes and kind of pile things around it, and you'll probably get a fire. A trioxane, that's what it's called. But that's for like the military, and obviously they're in some sketchy situations, so it's like they don't want to screw around with fire, they need to have it. So I respect that, but I think that those things cost like a few dollars per like a little brick of it. And there's other things like wet fire, I think, is another one, and it's like you can dunk it in water and then light it on fire right afterwards or something, but it's like anyways, there's lots of things to spend our money on, and tinder should be something hopefully that you can do pretty cheap. So anyways, these are cotton balls smeared with Vaseline, and this is an amazing tinder. And it's really easy to do. I should make a separate video about how to make them, but there's plenty of good videos about that on YouTube. But basically you just turn the Ziploc bag inside out, throw in maybe 10 or 15 cotton balls, or in this case I probably have closer to 30 in there, and then you sort of grab a bunch of Vaseline with the bag, just scoop a handful of Vaseline, put the balls in, and then you just sort of crush them up, mix them together, and get them all nicely coated with the Vaseline, and then you're good to go. It's better to use like the jumbo cotton balls, I think. These ones I got from the dollar store, and they're pretty small actually, so I end up using probably like 2 or 3 of them per fire. But anyways, one of these things, I should show you this. You light it on fire. You know what? I will show you. Come on over here. You light it on fire, and I'll do it with the striker actually, because that'll be fun. But this thing will burn for like 2 minutes maybe, more or less. So, okay, let's put her up here. Make sure you guys can see it. Alright. Alright, so here's, okay, I grabbed 1, but I got 3 for the price of 1. So anyways, let's try to spark it up here. Oops. Alright, let's try to do it without knocking everything flying, right? Alright, so you can see that the flame is caught there. I'll bring you over a bit closer. But this thing will burn for 2 or 3 minutes probably in total. I'm not going to film the whole thing, but yeah, the fire steel and cotton balls, it works like a charm. This thing could be soaking wet. Like the cotton balls, I don't know if they could be wet, but I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, anyway, so there you go. You've got the start of a fire. super easy, even for people who don't really know what they're doing. Preparation is the key. Come out here with the right tools and get the job done and have a good time while you're doing it. So anyways, that's my fire kit, and there's my fire. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.